let's make this thing into a bowl. So obviously, to get started, we're going to mount our bowl on the lathe. This bowl is made out of poplar. It's just some scrap that I had lying around. And as any good woodworker knows, you can't ever throw away your scrap because you might need it for something. And I like to use my scrap for bowls. Now, do I think poplar is the best wood for bowls? Maybe. Maybe not. I think it's a fine wood and I like it. It's really, really easy to turn, and that's why I like it. It's really good for practicing and just kind of getting the feel of things. And the reason I wanted to use poplar for this bowl was because this lathe is new to me. I picked it up about a month ago and I haven't really gotten a chance to use it. And so I figured, well, I might as well start with something easy, something I can turn really well, so I can get the feel of this lathe. So what I like to do first is shape the outside of the bowl to kind of a rough shape of what I want. I'm not looking to get a finished shape for the outside, especially with these little candy dishes that I like to do. They can always change mid-turn if I feel like it. So I'll usually just rough out the shape and then go work on the inside. So that shape looks pretty good to me. It's kind of something I'm going for. So then I'll start turning the inside. And the inside, you just need to learn to take your time with the inside of bowls because there's a lot of segment pieces in there that your tools can catch on. And if you don't have like a bowl rest for your lathe, you're really sticking your tool in there without a lot of support. But luckily this poplar is really soft, and so my tool cut right through it and I didn't really have to worry about that. So what I'm looking for here on the inside of the bowl is just to round it out. That's really all I like to do with these little candy dishes, is just make sure that the inside is nice and round and there's no like gaps or anything. And that looks good. I'm very pleased with the way that the inside of this bowl came out. It came out really nice and smooth and easy. So after I get the inside done, I can then move back to the outside. And another reason that I don't fully shape the outside is because sometimes the inside takes a lot more cutting than you think, and you'll lose a lot of material. And you might end up with not a lot of material left to work with. So if you just get your outside roughly shaped, then you'll still have plenty on the outside to work with. So I'll get the outside fully shaped, and as you can see here, there's a little hole in one of the segments that I didn't notice before. I think it's from a screw or something. So I'll just use some super glue and some sawdust to fill that in and just make it solid. Then I'll let that super glue sit and dry for about 20 minutes, and then I'll come back and start sanding. And I actually like sanding things on the lathe. Maybe it's because the machine does most of the work for you. And it can go by really quick, which is really nice. And then after I work my way up through all the grits, I will do one last final check just to make sure that I didn't miss anything, or there's no deeper cuts, or there's no bumps or anything like that, that the bowl's nice and smooth. And once I have passed off on it, then it's time to move on to finish. So for finish, I am using Minwax tongue oil finish, and it works just like any other oil finish. I like to apply a heavier coat for the first or second time, and then I let it sit for about 4, maybe 6 hours, kind of. I usually end up just forgetting about it for about a day, and then I'll come back and sand it, and then I'll put on another 1 or 2 light coats to finish it off. But once I'm done with that process, which will take a while, I'll come back, pull the bowl off the lathe, and then sand down the bottom to make sure that it's flat. And then also I like to add a little shadow line just to the bottom. Gives it a little cool detail. Wow, I'm really taking my time here on this shadow line. Okay, now that I'm happy with it, we will just add, again, another 2 coats, 3 coats, 4 coats, however many coats it takes to the bottom. Get that finished up and dry. It's kind of funny that the finishing process takes longer than the actual turning process, but that's what matters, is the finish, I think. And then all that's left, obviously, is to fill it with candy. Skittles are my choice, obviously. Actually, not my choice. They were just what I had lying around. But this little bowl came out really great. I'm really happy with it, and it'll be a cool gift to give somebody down the road. But for now, it's just going to sit on my entertainment center full of candy. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.